Hey everybody, it's Brian again, back for another weekly update on stuff I picked up. And I picked up a crap ton of stuff this week. It was pretty cool. I went back home and I actually picked up a system. I already have the system. It's a different model of the system I'll get to later. Picked up another system, a handheld system that's a little rare, but it didn't really succeed. Made by Tiger Electronics. Picked that up for cheap, and a whole bunch of Game Boy games, whole bunch of Dreamcast and Sega CD and Sega Saturn games. So let's get started. I'll get started with the most I got for one system this week, and that's Game Boy. I've been getting on a Game Boy kick lately because I've been finding them real cheap, like $1, $2.50. So we'll go over these first. Well, first let me go over the Game Gear game. I got a Game Gear game. It looks like an early RPG. It's called Dragon Crystal. It was $1. For the Game Boy, I picked up Boxed Blades of Steel. If it's anything like the NES game, it should be awesome. The rest were just loose games that I got. We'll start with this one here. Duke Nukem. Never played it on the Game Boy. Duke, always bet on Duke. Radar Mission. Looks like a sub-game. Rampage. Ninja Tarot. I'm guessing it's a Ninja Tarot card game, which seems awesome. Hyper Load Runner. So this is like Load Runner for the NES, I'm guessing. Quarth. Looks like a spaceship shooting game. Shoot 'em up. Tecmo Bowl. If it's anything like the NES, good. These were like $1, $2.50. Ultima, Runes of Virtue, another RPG. Tetris DX. Now, I don't actually have the original Tetris for the Game Boy, but I picked this one up because it's DX, so who knows. Here's another RPG. It's called Kingdom Crusade. I'm guessing it's an RPG. It might not be. I'm a big fan of the Dragon Warrior series, and I never played there's a monster series, so I never played that, so I picked up the first Dragon Warrior monster for Game Boy Color. Hopefully that's okay. And I picked up a lot of Wario games, and I picked up this game. It looks like a puzzle game with Bomberman. It's called Wario Blast. A classic on the Atari for $1, Yara's Revenge. Picked up Sword of Hope. Another Battletoads. I picked up 2 Battletoads games this week. So I picked up the original Battletoads on Game Boy, Ragnarok's World, Boomer's Adventure, Conker's Pocket Tales. Yes, this is the same Conkers from Conker's Bad Fur Day. Final Fantasy Legend. Final Fantasy Legend 2. Harvest Moon for the Game Boy Color. Harvest Moon 2 for the Game Boy Color. And sticking with the whole life simulation RPGs by Natsume, we got Legend of the River King, a fishing RPG. Legend of the River King 2. A game I remember seeing the ad in Nintendo Power. Actually, I think I covered a Nintendo Power issue, one of the issues, or Game Pro, and they had this ad in it. Roland's Curse, an RPG, or action like Zelda game. Not really an RPG, but one of my favorite Nintendo games, Shadowgate. Also, I picked up Sword of Hope. I also picked up Sword of Hope 2. Some more Wario games. I picked up Wario Land 2. Wario! Wah! Wario Land 3. And that's it for my handheld games. I picked up quite a few Game Boy games, and these were all reduced. I got some good deals like Final Fantasy Legend were $2.50, and that they were $1 or $2.50, $5 at the most, but most were $1 or $2.50. Okay, let's move on to the SNES and NES games. Picked up this game. I'll probably never beat it, but I never had it as a kid, and there's something about this series that I like. I like Battletoads, even though I've never beaten any of them. This is Battletoads and Battle Maniacs for the Super Nintendo. Another game I remember renting from the local video store and playing co-op with friends. Super Double Dragon. Very fun game. Played through this a little bit. Didn't beat it, got to like level 5. I think there's 7 levels. A Blizzard game, the guys who made, before they made World of Warcraft, I think around Lost Vikings era, they made Blackthorn. I think Blizzard made it. And some NES games. I only picked up 3 NES games because I've kind of been trying to get... I've just been running out of NES games to find. I've been seeing stuff I already have, so I've been picking up other stuff. I picked up Kings of the Beach for like $1. Sky Shark. And World Games by Epix, the same people who made Winter Games, if you saw the Angry Video Game Nerds episode of that. So that's my Super Nintendo and NES pickups. I have an N64 one I picked up. And this is Carmageddon 64. I heard it's not very good, but I heard good things about the PC version, so maybe I'll like it. Picked up a GameCube game. Baton Kaitos. It's an RPG. Don't really know much about it, but it was kind of cheap. It's possibly the most beautiful GameCube title ever made. Nintendo Power. Embark upon an emotional journey across a richly imagined world and detailed character development spanning over 60 hours of gameplay. So I'd be interested in... And this guy right here, you gotta see this guy. If you ever played Final Fantasy X, this guy looks like Waka. Okay, so that's the GameCube. What else? Let's stick with 8-bit before we get into the disc-based games. I picked up quite a bit of Master System games. We'll start with the loose ones. Captain Silver. I got this thrown in for free when I bought a whole bunch. I asked him, can I have it? And he also had a whole bunch of instruction manuals that I talked to. I asked, can I have those? He said, yeah. Super Tennis. So if I ever get Super Tennis, I have the manual. Outrun. Action Fighter, which I have. Altered Beast, which I didn't know they made for the Master System. Missile Defense 3D. Phantasy Star. I got excited when I saw this because I thought he had it, but he didn't. He just had the manual, which I want to play. This is quite a thick manual. And this is one of the games I've been looking for. I might have to pick up on eBay because I never find it out in the wild. It's like a futuristic early RPG starring a girl, from what I heard. Alien Syndrome. And those are the manuals I picked up. I was going to get this game, Rastan, but when I checked in it, it was empty. So I'll keep the case, and when I find Rastan, I have a complete copy. Shinobi. Remember playing this on the NES on a black and white TV. Gangster Town, which I already had, but you kind of threw this one in for free. This game looks kind of interesting. It's called Cloudmaster. Very colorful looking game. Again, the Master System had better graphical capabilities than the NES, but it didn't really catch on here. I remember never seeing one in this a tiny place I lived. It was all Nintendo. Quartet. I have no idea what this game's about. Aztec Adventure. Your El Nino Wanderer and Traveler. That's what his name is. And I got Hang On and Safari Hunt. 2 common games for the Master System, but I didn't have. So that's good. I got quite a night. I was excited. I got a good deal on those games all together, bundled with some instruction manuals, and when I find Rastan, I'll actually finish this. And this game looks kind of cool. I hope to find this because it looks neat. Okay, let's go on to some Dreamcast games. I got a lot of Dreamcast games. Got some good deals. First, let's start with a game that I never played, but I heard good things about it. A fighting game, multiplayer fighting game called Power Stone 2. Picked up Dead or Alive 2, one of the better fighting games on the system, and there was a lot of fighting games on the system. Made by Team Ninja, who did the Ninja Gaiden games too. Sonic Adventure 2, I have the first Sonic Adventure, now I have Sonic Adventure 2. And a game I played on the N64, I've been looking for on the N64, but I found it on Dreamcast. Worms Armageddon, very fun game. Basically little worms blasting each other. You take turn-based combat, and each worm has like weapons. And Bomberman Online. Don't know if the fans have servers up to play this online or not. Picked up some Sega CD games because I did order a Sega CD, and that's going to come in next week. Picked up Super Shark. I only have one other one, and that's Sonic CD. And I picked up Who Shot Johnny Rock. It's an early full-motion video game. Let's see, really cheesy, but I like these. Okay, moving on to more Sega, I picked up some Saturn games. And this game I saw a review by the Happy Video Game Nerd, and he made me want to pick it up. And it is called D. It's a horror game. It has a really creepy atmosphere. So watch his review on this to see what this is about. It's also available for PlayStation, but I picked it up for the Saturn. So I'm getting a few Saturn games. I have about 10 now. Another shooter, because the Saturn was known for a lot of shoot-em-ups. Japan got a lot more than we did. This is called Galactic Attack. Looks like a vertical spaceship shooter. And I picked up a Saturn 3D platform game called Croc. And Saturn games I always buy when I see them because they're very hard to find in the original case, because the case on these always usually crack on the hinges, and if you can find them complete like this, it's very nice to get. And I like the Saturn boxes, even though they're tall and they take up a lot of space. Okay, let's see what else. So that takes care of that. Oh, yeah, I picked up my ColecoVision controller. One of them was bad. When I was playing Smurfs, it wouldn't move. So I picked up another one, and it seems to work very well. So, it seems to work a lot better than my old one, so we'll see if this one works. Funny thing about these, they're the same pinout as a Genesis controller. So you can use a Genesis controller in a ColecoVision, or an Atari 2600. Okay, what else? Yeah, one more thing. Oh yeah, when I went back home for Easter, I looked on at Indiana, PA, if there was any used game stores, and there was a used store up in Indiana. And I've been wanting to pick up one of these to complete my whole model of Sega Genesis. This is a Sega Genesis Model 1. Oh, I'm sorry, Model 3. And it's very, very small. If I put it next to a GameCube case, you'll see how small it is. In fact, see? And I've been looking for one of these because I have a Model 1. I have like 2 or 3 Model 1s. I have a Model 2, and now I have a Model 3. I got this for $5. $5. I already had the cords for it, so that was no problem. And I tested it out. Well, I actually had to clean it. It was quite dirty. I opened it up, and there was filth everywhere. It looks like somebody spilled Coke or something in it. There was stuff rattling, so I just took it apart. Cleaned her all up with Windex on the outside, isopropyl alcohol, cleaned the contacts, and it works perfect. The buttons were sticking too, but I fixed that. So for $5, you know, I finally got a Genesis Model 3. And I gotta say, I really like this model because of how small it is. So this was a real excitement for me. That's about it. I finished 5th book of A Song of Ice and Fire, A Dance with Dragons. It ends on quite the cliffhanger. I don't want to spoil it, but it involves Daenerys and dragons. I'm just gonna say that. So I can't wait for the 6th book, The Winds of Winter, and that's gonna be a long wait. I'm probably gonna be like in my mid-30s when that comes out. My God, but that was so good. Game of Thrones season 2 started, and I'm really liking that. I actually caught the 2nd episode early because they leaked it, and I wish I kind of didn't because I know had to wait 2 whole weeks for another episode. The only thing I love how they stay true to the book. There's some stuff I don't remember in the show. I don't remember in the book that's in the show, like when Jon Snow is at Crasta's Keep beyond the wall. He sees Crasta take his baby boy and give it to the others, which they're called the others in the books, but they're White Walkers in the TV show. They call them the White Walkers. That I don't remember in the book, and I definitely don't remember him being knocked out by Crasta. So I don't know where they're going with that, but still a very good show. Peter Dinklage is awesome as Tyrion, one of my favorite characters in the book. And Samwell is one of my favorite characters as well, and he really grows in the 2nd book. I hope they really flesh him out like he did in the 2nd book. So yeah, that's it. I got a Sega CD coming. I'm also rearranging my games because I've getting quite more, and I'm running out of shelf space, so I got to do that this weekend and figure out where to put them all. I added this little TV I had in storage, this Sony Trinitron 20-inch. To hook up my classic consoles to it instead of playing them on this HD TV, because I'm running out of room on that one right there, because I don't have any more power or shelf space for classic consoles there, so I have to use this right here. So yeah, that's about it. I'll be doing that this weekend, and so I'll see you guys next week. Have a wonderful week, and take it easy. This is Brian. Bye.